Well, hello, 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 everyone. Happy birthday to me. It is amazing to be able to turn 29 again for the 12th year in a row. I don't really do anything to celebrate my birthday. Like Victor said to me about a week ago, he's like, Karlyn, do you want a practical present or do you want like a fun present? And I said, I don't really need a present. And then he said, well, let me put it this way. Can I buy you something fun or do you just want me to go and take your car to be serviced and replace your brake pads? And I was like, car, please. And so literally right now, Victor is having my car serviced because I hate having my car serviced because they always trick me into spending more money than I need to actually spend. And so now, because it's happened so many times where I get tricked into thinking something is wrong with my car that is not actually wrong, now Victor has taken the reins on my car servicing needs, and he has to take care of all of it because what he really wants me to do is buy a new car. And I'm like, I don't need a new car. I don't go anywhere, and cars are really expensive right now. And so I'm being really stubborn, and I'm like, I don't want to buy a new car. So Victor's like, all right, well, then, I got to take care of this stuff because you're getting tricked into spending thousands of dollars that you don't actually need to spend. And that way we can take that money and go do fun things like go out to dinners or go on vacations or do other things too. All right, guys. Well, listen, I thought we'd do something a little bit different on the stream today. Not just because it's my birthday, and well, actually, it really has nothing to do with my birthday. Oh, well, I guess it kind of does. My birthday, I've been saying over and over again, this is Karlyn's month of narcissism. And if there's any day in which I get to be narcissistic, God knows it's on my birthday. So I thought we would do something really simple today. And I thought that we would do a little Ask Me Anything. And I thought it could be fun. And when I say anything, you can literally ask me anything. Any question under the sun, you can ask me. Do you want news? Do you want gossip? Do you want spirituality perspectives? Do you want to know? I've already seen something about a celebrity crush come up in the super chats. I'll answer that in a second. What do you want to know? Or what do you want me to pontificate on? Do you want me to talk about unwoke stuff? Do you want me to talk about what it's like to write a book? Do you want me to talk about tarot cards? Like I'm really opening the door here. Do you want to know why Adam Krigler got fired off of Tim Pool's show? I'm not answering that one for free. That one is going to require a super chat of epic proportion for me to answer publicly, but I do actually know the answer to that question. So this is a true ask me anything. And yeah, people like, yeah, like tell us that story. Actually, I don't know. That super chat would have to be pretty fucking big. I'm not saying you have to ask a super chat to like send in a super chat to ask me like normal questions, but that would have to be a pretty big one. And since I've already been accused by Carrie Smith and Lydia of telling that story all over the fucking internet anyway, I might as well get paid to tell the story that I've already been accused of telling. Anywho, that's what we're going to do on the show today. Apparently, it is impossible to clean my glasses. But before we jump into it, guys, and I will give you a couple of moments to consider what questions you might like to ask me. I know I put a question in my locals community for earlier. And I'll be checking in on that locals thread in a minute. And speaking of locals, if you would like to become a member of my locals community, you can head over to kb.locals.com/support. You can join for $5. Oh, I think Victor just came back from servicing my car. You can join for $5 a month. You can join for $50 a year, which gives you 2 months for free. You can also make a one-time gift. All birthday presents are welcome. And like I said in the chat pinned to the top of the feed, the very best present that you could give me today, if you are so inclined to give me a present, is to become a member of my locals community and to support the work I'm doing on there. Listen, man, I know that inflation like hit 8.5%. Thanks, Biden. 8.5%. I know times are tight. I know a lot of people are strapped for cash. Every single message that I've gotten from people who have, left my locals community recently, I literally all said, Karlyn, we love your work. We're just like inflation is just killing us. And I totally get it, man. But the fact of the matter is that I can't do what I'm doing without the support of my locals community. And my local supporters make this all possible. And I'm just so grateful for them. I try to offer lots of exclusive perks, like lots of exclusive access. I spent 4 hours last night on a private Zoom call with my locals. We talked about everything. Of course, we gossiped. I mean, we gossiped for like about all the stuff going on with Carrie and the Queen from England and all that stuff. We gossiped, but you know what we spent actually most of the call doing is we talked about Christianity and different interpretations of the Bible. And spirituality and different belief systems. And it was a really actually very interesting call. It was one of my favorite locals calls we've had lately. We are doing another locals call tomorrow at noon, so you can get in on that action when you become a member of the channel today and give me the best birthday present that I can possibly have, and I would really appreciate that. Now, another birthday present you could give me is by pre-ordering my book, Actively Unwoke, The Ultimate Guide for Fighting Back Against Woke Insanity in Your Life. It is coming out in less than 1 month. I just gave Joshua yesterday the very first autographed copy because we had brunch together in Boston, but it's so beautiful. The book is so beautiful. It came out so good. It is available in hardcover, it's available in Kindle, it's available. The audiobook is available. I am not reading the audiobook, and I know some people are disappointed that I didn't read the audiobook, but trust me, it is better this way. Like, as someone that's a writer, and I know other writers in the chat will probably identify with this. I cannot imagine something more intimidating than reading my own audiobook. So the people that made the audiobook, they got a great actor that I'm sure is going to be much better than if I had read it myself. So all of those are available for pre-order right now on Amazon. You can also, if you want some non-Amazon pre-order options, you can head over to activelyunwoke.com. You can look on Barnes & Noble, you can look on Books A Million, you can look on Simon & Schuster's website. There are all sorts of options out there, just depending on where you feel most comfortable ordering your book from. I just show you Amazon because it's like, just let's be honest, it's where most people are going to be getting the book from, regardless of our inclinations about Amazon. And the more pre-orders that come in, the more that bookstores will order the book. And more people will think it's going to be successful. And I really do think it's going to be successful. I'm very proud of this book. And this book provides the basis for the Unwoke Army, which is the group that I'm putting together, a grassroots, decentralized initiative to fight back against the woke. We were the ones that broke the story about what is going on in the Burlington School District with them grooming children live on the internet. We're working on some more stuff related to that now. It's kind of overwhelming, actually, the amount of stuff that's going on in relation to that. But this book provides the entire basis for that effort. So we'll be doing that. And of course, at 9:30 tonight, you can join Joshua and I for Nothing Remotely Controversial. This is a show that Joshua and I do every Tuesday at 9:30, where normally we talk about news and politics. Today, we are having a special edition, Karlyn's Narcissism Edition, in which Joshua is going to look at my solar return chart, and we're going to talk about what I have in front of me in the next year, and we're going to take your super chats and answer your questions as well. So that is on this channel at 9:30 p.m. tonight. Make sure you mount that like button for me, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I think it's going to be a really fun episode. So let's dig right in, and we can do a little Ask Me Anything. Now, I just want to go into the tab in locals really quick and see if you guys asked me anything in locals on the thread that I posted earlier. Let's see. And if not, that's okay. Okay, I see one question from Michelle in locals, so I'll be taking that one. I don't think I got any on Twitter earlier. I may have gotten one on Gitter. Let me just look on Gitter real quick and see if I have a question there. And then I'm gonna take here's how this is gonna go. I'm gonna take super chats first. And of course, all super chats go to support the channel, and I greatly appreciate all of them. And then I'm just gonna look for questions in the chat. And if you guys don't ask questions, then I'm just going to pontificate on whatever I feel like pontificating on, and you're just going to have to listen. Well, you don't have to listen. You can go watch something else. But I think it would be more fun if people asked questions. That would be my preference at the end of the day. So let me go to super chats. Let me see. And thank you guys for all the birthday wishes. I really do appreciate it. I hope I don't look like I'm having my 12th, 29th birthday. I'm starting to feel a little self-conscious about the whole thing, to be honest. Yeah. Okay, let's see. George Andre Veloso Nunez says, Happy birthday, Karlyn. Can't stay for the stream, but here is my question. What would you be doing today if you haven't become an internet celebrity? Okay, well, first off, like, I'm not an internet celebrity. I don't consider myself to be an internet celebrity. I actually think that the whole idea of like an internet celebrity is kind of like weird, to be honest. Like, and I know that my locals members know this. Like, I don't like I'm nothing special. I'm a person that had an article go viral on the internet accidentally and had started a YouTube channel a couple weeks prior to that happening, and because of the conjunction with the article going viral and like me, I was starting to like talk about like workplace stuff on YouTube. Like my channel just grew really quickly, but I don't consider myself an internet celebrity. I consider myself to be a normal person who happens to run her mouth on the internet. And I feel very grateful for being able to do this with you guys. I mean, certainly there are worse things that I could be doing. I could be stuck in a day job. Oh god. I can't imagine anything more nightmares than like a real day job. But what would I be doing if I had to become an internet celebrity? I'd still be doing exactly what I'm doing. Like people don't I don't really talk about this that much, but I do still practice organizational psychology. I actually wrote like today I just wrote another proposal for a client. I've been doing a bunch of client work lately. And it's actually been really good because it's um it's giving me hope that organizations are starting to turn away from woke bullshit. You know, I did some client work in 2020. I didn't do a lot of it because I was touring with Walkaway and I was really like I was building my platform and stuff like that. So I didn't actually really need to do a lot of it. I started doing it a little bit more last year. And then, I mean, to be really honest with you, in 2022, client work for just or like non woke organizational psychology has been starting to pick up. Now, I am extremely choosy when it comes to clients that I work with, just because I truly like I'm not going to do woke training. I will not do it. I do communication training, I do interpersonal training, I do mindfulness trainings for the workplace. I have a great manager training program that's not woke at all. I have a great leadership training program, both things that I created from scratch. I do a lot of assessments. So I do sometimes with organizations that might not be comfortable with me because of my public presence. What I do is I do assessments for them. I run surveys, I run psychological profiles, which is stuff that I really enjoy doing. Um, so I would probably just be doubling down on doing that. And I listen, I worked really effing hard to become what I think is a pretty fucking good organizational psychologist. It is very easy for me to evaluate social systems, and it is very easy for me to predict what people are going to do within those social systems, which I think actually I've applied quite a bit to when it comes to fighting back against woke nonsense, and a lot of it shows up in my book. And so I would be just doubling down on doing that full time and doing exactly what I was doing before my article went viral, which is to do trainings and keynotes and coaching and psychological assessments in the workplace. I love doing this stuff. I'm really good at it. And you know, I'm actually really thrilled that in this year especially that I've been able to start doing that again. Again, I don't talk about it a lot because I don't want to create problems for any clients that I'm working with. And certainly I'm never going to give my client list publicly. That's just not going to happen. Um, I've had to change some things in how I go about working with organizations in that I have extremely clear cancellation clauses in my contracts. Like if any organization hires me and then they cancel me, they are still paying the full fee from that they agreed to when they hired me, regardless of whether I deliver the work or not, which has actually turned out to be pretty great. I remember one time it was, you know what it was? It was in September of 2020, I was doing this. I had agreed to do a series of workshops with this young professional organization, and it was like a 4 week engagement where I was doing, or not four, was it 4 week or 4 month? I think it was, I don't remember whether it was 4 week or 4 month. I think it was 4 week. Like we were doing like one workshop a week, and I had delivered the first workshop. And then I went to Dallas and got chased by Black Lives Matter on the internet. And on the same day that I got chased by Black Lives Matter on the internet, Donald Trump retweeted me. This was still in the Trump Twitter era. And so I delivered 1 out of 4 workshops for this organization. And they emailed me after Trump retweeted me. And they were like, we are no longer in need of your services. And so they canceled the contract, but I had already written into the contract that they had to pay me the full fee even if they'd canceled it, which they didn't realize when they canceled it. So they had to pay me the full fee anyway. And I was like, this is great. 25% of the work, 100% of the fee. It was like, I was like totally cool with that decision. I'm like, okay, less work for me. Excellent. Anyway, so that is what I would be doing. That is what I would be doing. Okay. Let's see. Where's my next super chat? Sin says, Happy birthday. What was your funnest vacation? This can include a spiritual vacation. What was my funnest vacation? My funnest vacation. I don't know. I think the last cruise that Victor and I went on was pretty great. Like, I love cruising. I love cruising. I am a big fan of all things incredibly cheesy. I lo the cheesier, the better. And so, like, you can't get much more cheesy than a cruise. You just can't. Like, the minute that you step on that cruise ship, you just have to embrace the cheesiness of the entire situation. And so Victor and I have been on several cruises. This cruise was on, oh, what was that? I think it was Carnival. But like we had like the nicest room, and like we had it was like there. Oh God, what was it called? I don't remember what ship it was, but it had like the Havana cabins. It was the first one in Carnival Cruise Line that had the Havana cabins, and we ended up getting like a Havana suite, and it was one of the nicest rooms on the entire ship. And it had the adults only area, so we got adults only access there, and it was to the Caribbean. Where did we go? I think we went to Turks and Caicos, Dominican Republic, Curacao, and Aruba. And Victor and I love snorkeling. Like we're those people that we bring all our own snorkeling gear like with us. And the snorkeling was just so fucking great. And like in Aruba, especially in Aruba, we went on a pirate ship. It was like it was a schooner ship, but I call it a pirate ship. And then we went snorkeling off of the pirate ship, and it was just like beautiful, and the water was so great, and it was just like I just love that stuff. Like I love cruising in the Caribbean. It is one of my favorite things to do. I have not been on a cruise since then. I am dying to go on a cruise. I just love it. I've also taken because I used to travel a lot more for work than I do now. um I've been out to Sedona quite a bit. Sedona just by myself. Like, so when I traveled for work, so I would do this is pre-pandemic time. So I used to do a lot of like in-person workshops for organizations, things like that. And I had clients out in Arizona. So every time I would go to Arizona, I'd end up going to Sedona for a couple days. And I love Sedona. Sedona for me is just like, and this is not a place that's like really Victor's cup of tea. So he stays home and I go gallivant around in Sedona, going to all of the like vortexes and stuff like that. I've done ayahuasca in Arizona many times. So that's probably one of my favorite places to go if it's just me. I also have to say, I love Vegas. I do. I'm going to Reno at the end of May for the Libertarian National Convention, and I've never been to Reno before, but I love Las Vegas. And again, it's the cheesy factor. I love cheesy stuff. It's just the best. You just have to embrace like how ridiculous it all is. And Vegas for me is like it's just like the ultimate people watching place. And one of the things I love to do on the strip in Vegas, especially like when it's really crowded, is I like to this is a great experiment for women to try, especially. Try sometime walking a straight line down the street and just committing to walking forward in that straight line and do not stop. And what's going to happen when you do that is when you first start walking in the straight line down the street, and I've done this on the Vegas Strip many times, people are going to bump into you. They're going to bump right into you. They're not looking where they're going. They're going to shoulder check you, but you keep walking in that straight line. And eventually, what's going to happen? It is uncanny. If you commit to walking in that straight line and do not deviate, no matter if someone bumps into you, no matter if someone gets pissed off at you, no matter anything, if you commit to it, people will stop bumping into you. They might bump into you on the first day, but the second day, you're going to have many less people bump into you. It's like an energy thing where if you commit to just moving forward no matter what, people learn to get the F out of the way. And I found that there is no better place to try that little experiment than the Vegas Strip because it's always so crowded. But thank you, Sin, for that question. I appreciate it. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, how much for the Krigler answer? How much for the Krigler answer? $500. $500 super chat, and I will tell you why Adam Krigler got fired off of Tim Pool's show. And I don't give a fuck. You want to know why? You want to know why? Because the last time I was on Adam Krigler's show, he threw me under the bus in the most epic way that I've ever been thrown under the bus by any content creator, and I'm still pissed about it. I am still pissed. Last time he had me on his show, he was like, Karlyn, I want to talk to you about this anti-white thing. This was before I had written the anti-white article with the Queen from England. Um, and so he like Adam was pretending to operate in good faith, and then Adam allowed his chat to attack me incessantly for 3 fucking hours, which I didn't realize because Adam had blocked me from watching the chat in the streaming tool. And so I agreed, and he was really adamant. Adam was like, "Don't watch the chat. Don't watch the chat. Don't watch the chat." And I was like, "Okay, Adam. Like, this will just be a conversation with you and I. I'm not going to watch the chat. I'm going to do what you want me to do." I wish I hadn't done that because that chat was attacking me incessantly for 3 solid hours, and every single thing that I said on that show ultimately proved to be true. It ultimately proved to be completely true. I had suspicions at that time around a lot of stuff. I was pretty sure I knew what was going on, but I later proved every single thing I said was true. And when we were writing that anti-white article, I started sending Adam stuff. I was like, "Adam, do you remember when I said this on your show? Here's proof of that thing. Adam, do you remember when I said that on your show? Here's proof of that thing." And Adam didn't give a fuck. And he flat out told me he didn't give a fuck. And so that completely changed my view of him as a person. He made thousands of dollars allowing his audience to attack me for 3 hours on that show. He when the show went off air, Adam was like, "Karlyn, keep pursuing this. Keep speaking out." But it turns out he didn't really give a fuck. All he cared about was the money and the clout. And I watched the chat back that night. I watched what happened because the Queen of England, because we were still talking, we were still friends at this point. The Queen from England told, and if you don't know who the Queen from England is, you need to watch yesterday's show or go look at my Twitter or go look at my locals because I explained it there too. The Queen from England and I were still friends at that point, and he told me that he actually had to stop watching because the chat was so bad. And so I was like, "What the fuck happened?" I truly had no idea what happened. And then I watched it back that night, and I was just like, I was crying. It was so, so, so bad. And I knew that everything I said was the truth. And that me being on that show was actually what caused the Queen from England and I to double down on the anti-white research to prove. Well, this wasn't the goal. The goal wasn't to prove everything I said, but in the course of researching what was going on, we ended up proving that every single thing I said on that show was 100% correct. And I never got an apology, and I never got any acknowledgement over the fact that I was treated awfully for 3 fucking hours on that show. So if someone wants to send a $500 super chat to learn why Adam Krigler got fired off of Timcast IRL, I absolutely will tell that story on this stream. And if Adam doesn't like it, he can go fuck himself. I am treating him with the absolute same indignance that he treated me. That's all. Twister Chaser says, "Thank you for keeping the banner of truth ever present. You do. Happy birthday." Thank you so much for that, Twister Chasers. I really, really, really do appreciate it. All right, Incognito. Objectively, as a friend, look nice without glasses. Well, I know. I much prefer the way I look without glasses. The problem is that I can't see without my glasses. I can't get my glasses clean today. I need to buy another pair of glasses. I haven't got new glasses in like a really long time. I know my prescription still works because I went to the DMV the other day and had to renew my license, and they made me do an eye check. But the problem is I literally like I can't read the chat right now. Like, and I'm not that far away. I'm this far away from my screen. So I know that I look better without glasses. I can't see without glasses. And I do like I have a thing about putting things in my eye. So I cannot do contact lenses. I can't. I don't want to. And I kind of like the way glasses look too. But yeah. I just That's just the way it is. So that's it. Let me see. Do I have any other super chats at the moment? Let me see. Naruto says, "Happy birthday. We can't all be Glenn Beck. I'd imagine he does a great audiobook. What TV shows are you watching lately? Oh god. Victor and I were watching Below Deck Sailing Yacht last night. Victor and I love Below Deck. All of the Below Deck variety of seasons. In fact, I actually got Victor a birthday present. I got him like a cameo from Captain Lee's Stud of the Sea like a year ago, with Captain Lee like thanking him for being such a good husband. But no, I do watch that. Below Deck is probably my favorite cheesy reality show. We like The Challenge on MTV too. Um I just watched The Dropout on Hulu. I am fascinated with Elizabeth Holmes. I think, like Elizabeth Holmes, yes, she's going to jail for a while for, defrauding a lot of people and that's all very sad. But you got to say something about her focus. Her focus, her drive. I mean, there's something to be learned there, I suppose. So that's what we've been watching lately. But honestly, I don't actually really watch that much TV. I don't have time. I don't watch that much YouTube. I don't have watch that much TV. Yeah. Incognito, happy birthday. Most embarrassing thing you've ever experienced. Well, I think the Queen from England doctoring things and posting lies on Twitter the other day might rank right up there. But the thing is, it's like I've already survived. And I kind of knew the Queen from England was going to do that at some point because he and his queenliness were just like on this goddamn self-sabotage crash course. And so I kind of knew that it was probably going to happen at some point because I'm certainly not going to back down to his queenliness is bullshit. And so I knew it was going to reach that point. And once I saw what was actually posted, I was like, huh. I mean, anytime someone makes the choice to spill your dirty laundry, and not only just spill your dirty laundry, but also actively lie and fabricate what happened behind closed doors, that is, I think, embarrassing. But I also think that I've survived it now, and his queenliness has no other cards to play. So there's that. If I experienced anything else embarrassing, I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't embarrass easily. Not anymore. I used to. I used to get embarrassed incredibly easily. Um, I don't know. I don't know that I've ever actually had anything super embarrassing happen. I've never been one of those people that like if I drink too much or something, like when I drink, I'm don't ever tell anyone this because I will lie. I will lie. Um when I drink, I always remember what I do when I drink. I'm always very conscious of what I do. So even when I was drinking more, like when I was younger, I was never one of those people that would like get blackout drunk at a party and then like do something stupid because I was always conscious about what I was doing. Now I may lie about it after the fact. Like I may like if I made out with like a guy at a bar or something that like I wasn't proud of the next day, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I just had no idea what was going on." I always knew what was going on. But because I was always conscious of what was happening, I never did anything like really embarrassing that that I can remember. I mean, I don't know. But I used to embarrass much more easily. Probably a lot of stuff I've done that I just don't remember. So I wish I had a better story. I just don't though. Let's see. Let's see. I'm just gonna go. I'm getting this. Judy says to get LASIK. I have thought about getting LASIK. I'm just like really not motivated. I'm like, I would rather spend the money on getting tattooed than fixing my eyes, but I have thought about getting LASIK. All right. Let me see. Matthew. Oh my God, I love Below Deck. You should try Housewives on Bravo too. Love you, Queen. Happy birthday. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate that. I used to watch Housewives. I liked Housewives of New York the best, I think. I never got into it. Like I watched like the original like Real Housewives of Orange County, like way, 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 way back when they first launched it. And then like once they started having all these spin-offs, I can't keep track of all that stuff. There are too many housewives shows. But I do love the drama. I do. And so I used to watch them. All right, that's all the super chats we have for right now. So now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go look on some other places that I said ask me anything, and then I'm going to see if there are questions there. And then I'm just going to take your questions in the chat, and I will now questions in the chat that are not super chatted. Here's the rule. Here's the rule. If you if you ask a question via a super chat, I will absolutely answer your question. Okay? I will answer every question that comes in the form of a super chat. Um, if you ask a question in the general chat, I might answer it. I might not answer it because I don't know that I can get to every general question in the chat, but that's going to be the rule. Let me just look on my ask me anything getter post and let me see if there are any good questions that I should answer there. No, looks like people are just saying happy birthday over on Getter, which I appreciate. Let me see. So Michelle asks in local, she says, I think you may have once said you don't believe in parallel economy or society, if I'm remembering correctly. Can you please explain why? Okay, so Michelle is asking about, like, I definitely said that I don't know that I believe that setting up a completely parallel society or parallel economy where conservatives like have one economy and everyone else has another economy. I don't think it's a good idea. And the reason, well, there are several reasons. There are several reasons that I don't think it's a good idea. Hang on. There are several reasons that I don't actually think this is a good idea. Number one, I'm sorry, most conservatives suck at building technology. Can you name me one conservative platform that is actually run well? And so if you don't have the skill set to build something, then you can't build an entire separate economy. But also, I just think that it's just not realistic. It is not realistic to be living in the same country and to have two parallel societies. And and ultimately I think that the Democrats and the Republicans are exactly the same thing anyway. So for me, I don't think that that's something that I think is a realistic solution, to have everything have a conservative alternative to a liberal alternative. And that's not even going to serve me anyway because I'm not a conservative. And so it's like, are conservatives going to start canceling liberals from their services? Are they going to start canceling libertarians? I mean, they've certainly tried. So I don't think that's a realistic solution. I think the most realistic solution that we could possibly have is to change culture. We need to change the culture. That's the only answer to this problem. And I think that every time conservatives are like, well, we just need to ban something or we just need to build our own thing. Okay, I don't think that's a long-term solution. I don't. Locals does have gift subscriptions. They do have gift subscriptions. If you go in my locals, I mean, I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys exactly where gift subscriptions are in locals. I'll show you right now. I just need to view it as a member and not as an admin. Hang on. Ba-da-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba. Hang on. Hang on. Okay. If you go into locals, go to gift subscription right here. Oh, I'm making the wrong thing bigger. I'm making the wrong thing bigger. Oh no. Shoot. Gift subscription right here. And then you can gift a subscription in locals. So that does actually exist in locals. You can do that. Um, you can do that right now. All right, let me scroll back through the chat and I'm gonna see again, guys. If you send in a super chat, I will 100% answer any question that you have. Um, and I'm just going to go through and see if any general questions have come in that I think are interesting and are things I would like to pontificate on. So the choice is yours. Let me see. Let me see. I hope everyone's having a good day. Please make sure. Yes, yes. Caleb says sacrifice that like button. Remember, we're all in a cult, guys. I'm gonna have a member of my locals come on the channel in a couple weeks. He's a Satanist. And we're actually I want to learn about Satanism. I'm really interested in different points of views and different spiritual beliefs. And I'm sure I'm going to start all sort of rumors by having a Satanist talk about Satanism on my channel. But I think that's fascinating. And so we're actually going to be doing that in a couple weeks. So maybe we will be sacrificing the like button on that specific night. Yes, David, you can ask any question. Any question. Any question. If you want me to answer why Adam got fired off of Timcast, that's going to come at a cost of $500 super chat. That's the cost for that one. For me to answer publicly. Because I think that's like the maximum super chat that you can send in. What is it like to write a book? Hard as fuck. It's hard. Like for me, what I normally do, so like I how I work is I go through very traditional publishers. I do not self-publish because I'm lazy. No, I'm not lazy. I just don't want to deal with like all of the things that you have to deal with when it comes to self-publishing. And so for me, like Actively Unwoke will be my second book. My first book was a book called Zen Your Work. It was all about creating mindfulness in the workspace. Um, I go through traditional publishers, and what that entails writing a proposal, and then I have to get my I basically give the proposal to my agent, and my agent like shops it around. And so, in order for the proposal, I have to write generally about what I'm going to write about, and I usually try to include an outline. It's not usually an in-depth outline, but it's not like so with nonfiction books, you write you sell the book before you write the book. With fiction books, usually I believe you write the book before you sell the book. Okay. So I do the first. So I write an outline, but then it's really like, I mean, for me, what I try to do on my first pass with writing anything is I try to write just very stream of conscious. So I usually write a lot at night. I do not write during the day. My best writing hours for this particular book were 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. So when I was finishing the book, I was not really sleeping. But that's just the time that I find is quietest. I find I have my best ideas at night. I find I'm able to focus at night. I'm not getting as many emails. I'm not getting as many requests, things like that. And for me, it's really a matter of like, I need to just sit my ass down and write stream of conscious, right? Which is basically like I write everything without trying to edit myself. And then I have to go back through and I have to start to edit and make decisions about things I want to keep in and things I want to put out. Um, my first book, I think I have it right here, boom, this was much easier to write for me than Actively Unwoke. Actively Unwoke, I basically started over like 4 or 5 times, I think. And I ultimately and the problem was I wanted to go back and forth between my story in terms of my political evolution, and I wanted to talk about different case studies as well and how you actually fight back because I wanted it to be a highly practical book. That's really important to me. I'm not one of those people that I want to write books just pontificating about philosophy and bullshit like that. I want it to be a highly practical book that could actually help people. So I was trying to weave my story in amongst practical information that could actually serve people. And I had to go back and restart it like 4 or 5 times. I think the hardest part of writing a book is there are sometimes some things that I write just stream of conscious that I fall in love with. But then when I actually start to go back and to edit more cohesively, you have to kill your darlings, they call it, which is basically sometimes you have to get rid of the things that you love the most about your book. And there are some that are just like heartbreaking, heart-wrenching to get rid of. And that's probably the hardest part. And then so you like I usually tend to write very quickly. This book was difficult though because I the book was due at the end of June. Okay. So I had signed the book deal in April. I had kind of started the book at that point, but again, like you got to remember, I went back and had to rewrite things like several times. But I started it around not the I started around the beginning of April, end of March, beginning of April. The book was due at the end of June. I underwent the worst cancellation I have ever been through in my life in the month of June 2021. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. There was doxing, there were death threats, there was constant like mobs of people like following me all over the internet. It was like, the Holocaust tweet cancellation was bad, but it was not anywhere close to as bad as the cancellation that I underwent in June. And so the stress that I was experiencing in June was just like off the fucking charts. And then on top of that, I was trying to write a cohesive book that was also fun. Because it's very important to me that like fighting back against the woke stuff is hard. And so I want to make it as fun as I possibly can so that people don't burn themselves out. And so the other thing that I try to do when I'm writing a book is I put myself in a character. And you guys oftentimes the character is what tends to get me in trouble online because the character is a narcissist. the character is the most powerful person in the world and she knows she's the most powerful person in the world. And so oftentimes, like if I'm writing a book about literally called fighting back against woke insanity in your life, like I need to embrace the character of being a fighter. If I don't embrace the character of being a fighter, then I have no business writing a book about fighting back. So I will literally try to embrace the character that I want the readers to become in executing the book. And so, and when I'm writing like a book where I have to be like a narcissistic like superhero, because I do believe like, listen, it does take a fair bit of narcissism to be able to stand up to a woke cancel mob. It does. It takes an incredible degree of narcissism to say, I am more important than you and I am better than you, and nothing you say is going to knock me off my pedestal. So I think that sometimes, like, in embracing that character for the purpose of being able to write the book that I think that person would write, because I think that that character writing the book is ultimately going to deliver a better product for the audience. Um, like it's going to create problems because then people on Twitter go, "Oh, Karlyn is such a narcissist." Well, it's a character. It's a character that serves a purpose. But living in that character can be difficult, and you know, I don't know. I have no regrets about living in that character, and I think I've continued to kind of live to some extent in that character since then. Um, I wish more people understood what it was, which is it's a character to provide a role model for people in terms of fighting back. That's what it is. And, it would make my life better if people stopped calling me a fucking narcissist. But if I have to be the narcissist in order to teach people how to fight back in order to achieve the goal, then I am 100% willing to do that, because the goal is what's most important. Martin, thank you for the super chat. What's the current release date for Actively Unwoke? The current release date is May 10th. As some of you know, it was originally supposed to be released on April 26th. I got an email from my publisher a couple weeks ago saying they were going to have to push back the release date. And the issue is that there are supply chain issues with the printer not having paper and also staffing shortages at the printers. So thanks, Joe Biden, for that. But it should be released on May 10th. Like I said, like I do have my copies now. So I know they're printing copies because I have my copies. And so I don't have any reason to think that that is going to get pushed back at this point. Let's see. Anthony Gonzalez, thank you. Happy birthday, Karlyn. Be sure to pour one out for Gilbert Godfrey today. We lost a legend. Other than that, I hope you're having a good birthday. I am having a good birthday so far. And I did hear Gilbert Godfrey died. That's, he's kind of annoying, but like that's kind of sad. That's kind of sad. We'll raise our glasses to him. Sam says, "What fake news going around the world would you correct first?" Oh God, Sam, what an intellectual question. I think if I could wave a magic wand and correct anything, I would correct that Donald Trump is a white supremacist or condones white supremacy or has never condemned white supremacy, because I think that most of the lies that have spun up in the past, 5-6 years are directly related back to Donald Trump didn't condemn white supremacy after Charlottesville, which is a lie. He did. He absolutely did. It was in the damn speech. The media just didn't report it. Even to the extent that Joe Biden allegedly would not be president right now without that piece of fake news. Everything seems to stem from that piece of fake news, and I think that that perception is a problem. If we just removed, like, could wave a magic wand today, snap our fingers, and remove the perception that Donald Trump is an evil white supremacist, how many other, like, what is the butterfly effect from that, right? How many other things does that change? So that'd probably be what I would answer there. Enigma, happy birthday. Treat yourself today. I appreciated it, Enigma. Thanks so much. All right, guys, we are doing an Ask Me Anything. I will be taking all super chat questions first. I will answer all super chat questions with brute force honesty. But if I don't have super chat questions, I'm going to scroll back through the chat and look for some other fun questions to answer because I was doing client stuff today and I didn't have time to prepare for another stream. Let me see. I'm just scrolling back through the chat, guys. Scrolling back through the chat. Let's see. What do I think of TikTok in general? I don't really use TikTok, so I really don't have an opinion on it. I don't really understand it, I guess, is my answer. I don't really understand it. Let me see. Have you ever researched any other occult stuff besides tarot? Well, I don't think that tarot is a cult. It's not a cult. They're cards. They're cards. But yes, I have researched many things in relation to spirituality, from tarot cards to astrology to sacred medicine to law of attraction, manifestation, to channeling, to psychicry, to all sorts of things. Yes, I have researched and experienced and practiced many things in relation to that. But they're not a cult. They're not a cult. Let me see. I'm just scrolling through the chat, guys. Please feel free to chat in any questions. Let me just take a look over on the other mediums real quick. I've got Odyssey up and running. I've got Rockfin up and running. Let's see, Rumble. Yeah, Cubert says "Kill Your Darlings" is from Virginia Woolf. Yes, that is definitely a part of the process when it comes to writing anything. I thought I was going to be able to go live on Cloud Hub today, but I guess that's not working. Oh, well, maybe next time we'll be able to go live on Cloud Hub. They got me set up for live streaming there the other day. Did I just get another super chat? No, I don't think so. Okay, I'm just going through the chat, and we're going to look for some questions. What is my favorite state besides New Hampshire or Vermont? Well, Vermont's not my favorite state anymore. What's my favorite state besides New Hampshire? None. I genuinely mean that. Like, people I'm sure expect me to say Florida. Like, I don't really like Florida. I don't really like it. No offense to anyone who loves Florida. For me, it's too muggy. I don't like alligators. Although I do love the cheesiness of vacations and theme parks and things like that. I'm not sure I would want to live in that all the time. I don't I like a smaller state. I like being able, like, I can drive from one end of New Hampshire to the other very quickly and easily. Well, relatively, I suppose. So there's that. I don't know. If I had to live somewhere else, I would probably move to well, I don't know if I would move to Sedona though, because the problem with Sedona is that there's no airport near there. I don't mind New Mexico. I've enjoyed my time in New Mexico. I don't mind Tennessee. Tennessee could be an option for me, to be honest. Tennessee could be an option. I like Nashville an awful lot. You know, but no, I mean, no place like holds a candle to New Hampshire for me, to be honest. No place holds a candle to New Hampshire for me. I love New Hampshire. I don't ever plan on leaving. Metastep, how much longer until New Hampshire has enough libertarian majority to legalize growing your own medicine? Do you think you and me are going to get along in real life? Yeah, I mean, I think that we're getting close. I think they're trying to legalize it right now. I think there's bills to try to legalize it right now. They may have actually, didn't they decriminalize growing last year? I'm fairly certain they decriminalized growing. But they're trying to do I don't know the ins and outs of this bill. They're trying to do something where, like, this, like, so in New Hampshire, the state runs the liquor stores, which is not, like, ideal. But they're trying to do the same thing with weed, where I think there's a bill where the state would run the dispensaries or things like that. It's fucking stupid, man. I can drive 20 minutes to the Massachusetts border. There's a dispensary right over the border. It's so, like, it just makes no sense that New Hampshire hasn't legalized it yet. And actually, I mean, decriminalizing would probably be, like, better because, if the state's getting involved, they're gonna tax the shit out of it, and, I don't know, like, people don't like, with weed, like, people one of the things that people don't like is just, like, that the state taxes it, and so, I mean, the taxes on it are just, like, absurd when you get it in a dispensary, but B, it's also, like, they I don't know what the fuck they're putting in that shit, but for me, I actually prefer it because I prefer, like, vape pens, not flower. I don't like flower because I don't like the smell, and, I just find vape pens to be significantly more convenient, to be honest. So I'll pay the excess taxes and take my chances on whatever's in the oil and the vape pens. Um, but I don't like. Don't get me wrong. I will smoke it if it's like being passed around. But like I don't like flour as a general rule. Do I? Oh, and I didn't answer the second part. Do I think we get along? Yeah, sure, man. Like, I mean, you've joined my locals calls before. I get along with pretty much everyone, except for like raging bitches like Carrie Smith. Like, but like the people that I don't get along with, they like the only people I really don't get along with are people that have come at me. Like, I mean, people think that like, I certainly can be aggressive, but with most people, I just don't care all that much. And the only people that I really have beef with are people that have attacked me first. And people don't understand this. If you see me going at someone, look at how I'm going at them because in almost every single case, they have attacked me first out of nowhere, sometimes completely blindsiding me. And so if you attack me, especially if you stab me in the back, I will absolutely have a go at you. 100% because I believe in defending yourself and I believe in teaching people how to treat you, and I don't wanna teach people that they can fuck with me. But my preference is to just be chill and hang out and have good conversations. So, yeah, I usually get along with most anyone, especially in person. Like, there's just no reason to fight. Patrice, what's my favorite birthday memory? Ugh. I don't know that I have one. I don't know that I have one. Oh, no, I do have one. Oh my god. I wonder if it's on my Instagram. I'd have to go way back. Hang on. Maybe I can find it. So, Victor a couple years ago, got me a knitting cake. He got a whole cake for me that looked like knitting. I think this was pre-Trump article. I'm pretty sure this was pre-Trump article. I basically date my life in before Trump article and after Trump article because everything just changed so much after the Trump article that it's like the only way that I can really like think to do this. But I'm pretty sure I posted a picture of the knitting cake on my Instagram. I'm just going back through to see if I can find it. Maybe it was actually in 2020. I don't know. Oh god. There's so much stuff on this Instagram from like the olden days, the olden days. I'm going to give this about another minute. Hang on. I can actually just show you guys. This might actually be easier. I can show you guys my Instagram while we're scrolling. Let me see. Let me see if I can find the. There's me with Elizabeth Warren. This is when Victor and I renewed our vows in Vegas, I knitted a dress. Now it's not your typical vow renewal dress, but I was pretty happy with it. It was knitted out of linen yarn. And so it was nice and light, so it wasn't like heavy yarn. Look at this. This is a cake batter milkshake with a slice of cake on top. That's at a bar in the Venetian in Las Vegas. Look at Victor and I. How cute are we? How cute are we when we renewed our vows with Elvis? There we are with Elvis. We have the proper. Oh, Victor was so handsome. Victor, check this out. Victor, when we renewed our vows with Elvis, he wore a shirt with hound dogs on it. And he had blue shoes as well. Look, he's got his shirt with hound dogs. renewing our vows with Elvis was like the best. Like, oh, here's the outfit. Look, he's got blue shoes and hound dogs. We had an epic room at the Cosmopolitan. Look at our view. This was our view from our balcony at the Cosmopolitan when we did that. I was in town for a conference. Look, I'm giving the finger to Trump. This is pre-Trump. This is in the before times. But that was fun. There are Victor and I with the Vegas sign. But I was in Vegas to speak at a conference and we made a vacation out of it. Let me see. This might actually be the year of the knitting cake. This might actually be the year of the knitting cake. Look, me giving the finger to Trump again. I gave the finger to the White House when Trump was there. I felt like I was doing my civic duty. God, how times change, man. How times change. Okay, we're going to go back one more year. This is when I went with my friend Matt to see Insane Clown Posse and we were drenched in Faygo. I legitimately am I am legitimately a juggalo. I have been since I was 16. So you guys are just getting a whole tour through my life right now. You weren't expecting this. I wasn't expecting to do this today on this Ask Me Anything. Wasn't expecting it. We'll keep going for a minute. I'm not even looking at the chat, so I don't know. You guys are like, this is stupid. Why are we getting in? Oh, this was us on that cruise I was talking about. Victor's doing Titanic. We had a great room. This is Victor solving a Rubik's Cube. Watch Victor solve a Rubik's Cube. Watch this. I know you can't hear the sound, but there's not really much to hear. Victor was actually pissed at his time for this Rubik's Cube. There he is, done. 28 seconds, solved a Rubik's Cube. Victor's actually solved the Rubik's Cube much faster than that. Let's see. This is when I had my hair rainbow. I was blonde for about 3 minutes. Snorkeling. I told you we had our own snorkeling gear. Where's my knitting cake? If it's not this year, I give up. Oh, I don't know. That's South by. So I guess, I don't know. I don't know where the knitting cake is. Dang. But that was probably my favorite to the last question. That was probably this is me in Palm Springs. This is when I was writing my first book. I did most of my HR. This is back when HR actually acknowledged that not everyone has to like everyone else. I got this t-shirt at an HR conference that I spoke at. Not everyone is going to love you. This is in the before times, before everyone had to pretend to be friends. HR used to give out things like, this is when I did my graduation for my doctorate. Look at me, my fancy PhD gown. That was in Minnesota. It's me riding a Segway in a fancy hat in New Orleans. This is my fancy New Orleans hat, like that you get in one of those fancy hat shops. I love that hat. I think that's it. Oh, this is when I did Cambo Frog in Sedona. Does anyone know what Cambo Frog is? Cambo Frog is when a shaman takes scrapes poison off of the back of a tree frog, and then they take a little stick and they light it on fire, and they poke you in the arm 3 times in my case, and then they put the frog poison over the holes that they've just poked in your arm, and then you feel like you're gonna pass out for like 15 minutes, and then you feel fucking great. Then you feel great. It is not a hallucinogen. You do not hallucinate. You just feel like you're going to die. But it feels amazing when it's done. But my God, it like Like, my friends in Sedona, they were like, "Karlyn, this doesn't hurt any more than getting a tattoo." And I was like, "I don't know about that. You're getting poked in the arm with a stick and then frog poison's getting put on it." And they were like, "No, no, no. You're tattooed. This is not gonna hurt anymore." And it took me like several weeks to work up the nerve to do Cambo Frog. And finally I was there, I was like, screw it. It can't hurt it. I had worked myself out. I was like, it can't hurt any more than a tattoo. They were dirty liars. It hurt way more than a tattoo. And I say that as someone who now has a giant tattoo on her arm. Like, this hurt way more than a tattoo. But when you like in the Amazon, if you have Cambo scars, you're like a warrior. It's like a mark of pride. AD, how does it feel to be 29th again for the 12th time? I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good. No different than yesterday, really. I feel fine. No complaints. No complaints at all. So, I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. All right, let me see. What other interesting things do I have on my Instagram? It's me in a funny hat. I don't know. I like trying on hats. These are my friends in the before times. Victor and I at the Boston Marathon. Oh God, I remember that. This is when I broke my ankle tripping on the sidewalk and then proceeded to walk around all day at the airport and get on 2 flights to be able to get home. And then Victor picked me up at the airport and was like, "This is a fun experiment, but we're going to the hospital now." All right, I guess I can't find knitting cake. That's too bad. Because the knitting cake was very cool, and that was definitely my favorite birthday present. But we get to look at some other cool stuff on my Instagram too. All right, I'm going back to the chat. No more Karlyn's Instagram fun time. What questions do you guys have? This is an Ask Me Anything stream. I'm going to probably do this for maybe another half hour, depending on how good the questions are. If you super chat in a question, I will absolutely answer it on the stream. You will have first priority. If you aren't going to super chat in a question, then I will just go through the chat and we'll see what's what. Yeah, I had to be in a boot for like 8 weeks after pulling that little stunt. But it was good. It was when I wrote my book proposal though. Yeah, Cambo is so libertarian. It is. Cambo, Kambo. So like this, except with a K. I mean, honestly, like I would do Cambo Frog again. I would do it again. A, because my scars are starting to fade and I kind of want to re-up the scars. Um but I really did. Like, as much as it hurt and as much as like it was probably the Cambo Frog was more intense for me than ayahuasca. Um but you don't hallucinate, at least I didn't hallucinate on Cambo Frog, and I do most of the time on ayahuasca. Let me see. I'm just going back through the chat to see if you guys ask any interesting questions. Let's see. What's my IG handle? It's Dr. Karlyn B. Dr. Karlyn B. No, pineapple on pizza is for terrorists. I don't understand putting pineapple on a pizza. I don't understand it at all. What happened with me and Mikey? I have no fucking idea. That's the truth. I don't know. What I know is that I one day started hearing that Mikey Harlow was starting to talk shit about me. Like, was talking shit about me. I was like hearing rumor. And I didn't really think too much of it because I wasn't hearing it from him himself, so I wasn't really, like, thinking that much about it. But then it became it like, I don't remember exactly how it got confirmed, but it got confirmed to me that Mikey Harlow was basically running around talking shit about me. And then at some point, so essentially, so we have to go back. We have to go back to when Carrie Smith originally decided that I was just a horrible person that she didn't like anymore. Carrie has purported that I was running around telling people. Carrie has said that the reason that she decided not to like me was because I was running around telling people why Tim Pool got fired, or why Tim Pool fired Adam off his show. Now, I knew what happened because Adam told both Mikey and I at exactly the same time. We were in the same fucking hotel room when he told us what happened. So we both knew. but I truly didn't really care all that much. And so was I running around spreading rumors about it? No, but Carrie started spreading a rumor that I did. Oh, I do fucking remember what happened. Oh, it just hit me what happened. Okay. So Carrie started like spreading this rumor that I was telling people like what happened. And then it was, I think, a week before the 2020 election, Mikey accused me of trying to start a public feud with Tim Pool, which I never did. Now, I publicly disagreed with something that I publicly disagreed with Tim Pool having Vosh on his show. I still don't think Tim Pool should have had Vosh on his show. I think Vosh is a terror. I think that Vosh weaponizes his audience. I think Vosh is a horrible person. And I don't think that he should have been on Tim's show. And they were going on saying, Karlyn's arguing to deplatform people. Well, no, I wasn't, because Tim Pool is not a platform. Tim Pool is a publisher. He is not a platform. He made an editorial decision. And I thought it was the wrong editorial decision, and I said so. And then Mikey got really, and I used Mike Harlow, frankly, as an example, because I don't even remember, and I probably should, in retrospect, I actually probably shouldn't have done this, but I was just like, I was going stream of conscious with the whole thing. So it was in my head and I said it. Probably wouldn't do the same thing today, but Mike Harlow got pissed off at me that I brought his name into it and all this shit. And then he accused me of trying to start a public feud with Tim Pool, which I never did. And he came to my hotel room when we were in Atlanta, Georgia, right before the 2020 election, and yelled at me for 2 hours over this. Now, I was really stoned when he was yelling at me, so I wasn't even really, I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. Like, this is so stupid. But I thought we had gotten to a place where we had kind of made up, and that we are kind of like I basically, like, I was like, fine, Mikey, fine, I'm sorry, I won't do it again, like, whatever. I apologize for something that I didn't really think I was wrong about, but sometimes you like have to apologize for things that you don't think you're wrong about, just because to keep the peace and because you don't really care all that much. So I was like, fine, Mikey, I'm wrong, whatever. So I thought that we were cool. And, we did some events together after all that. But then it was, I don't remember exactly when it was. Probably beginning of 2021, like after January 6th and all that. Mikey just started talking shit about me. Anyway, long story short, what I later found out was that Mikey had been colluding with Carrie Smith, because Carrie Smith is at the epicenter of all bullshit pertaining to me. Every single piece of bullshit pertaining to me can inevitably be traced back to Carrie Smith. Mikey and Carrie had been colluding to try to. Mikey was basically pretending to be my friend while we were on tour with Walkaway to try to like, they were essentially trying to get me kicked out of Walkaway so that Carrie could take my place. Because I am a significantly better speaker than Carrie is, like significantly better. But Mikey liked hanging out with Carrie. They were BFFs. And so what was happening is Mikey was pretending to be my friend while sabotaging me behind my back to try to get me kicked out of Walkaway so Carrie could take my place. And at some point, I found this out even to the extent that he was lying to my face at events. And then he just started lying egregiously about me online. And Mikey's big thing now is really all he can do is like call me fat. Mikey's only insult to me is like calling me fat and a ham beast and morbidly obese. And he says I have a copious ass. And Victor, by the way, actually loves that Mikey said I have a copious ass. Victor tells me that all the time. He's like, I love your copious ass. I'm like, okay, well, at least something good came out of this. So I mean, I suspect that this inevitably came from Carrie, because it always comes from Carrie. Everything comes from Carrie. Every single thing comes from that woman. I don't know what exactly I did to piss her off so much, but that's where it came from. But they're getting their just desserts now, aren't they? So I'm not really all that upset about it. AD says Vosh is a gender abolitionist. What is that? I don't know. He doesn't believe in gender. Does Vosh think that everyone has no gender? I don't know. I don't watch Vosh at all. I can't. His energy is too bad. I cannot bring that shit into my life. I can't. All right. What other questions do you guys have? Well, I lost weight in 2020 and then I gained it back and then I lost it again and now I've gained it back. I'm probably like the highest weight I've ever been right now. I really do want to go back to the gym. Um, Fun fact, I have the same muscles that like high performance athletes do. I have like high twitch muscle fibers, which is rare. Most people don't have those. And so when I actually start working out, I lose weight relatively quickly and I can get fit relatively quickly. It's just a matter of motivation. I just don't have time. Do I wear sunscreen? Cause you don't have sun yeah, yeah, I definitely wear sunscreen, and I do, like, very high, very powerful sunscreen on my tattoos, because sun will fuck up your tattoos, but I also haven't tanned really in years. I mean, I used to, like I love tanning, I look much better when I have a tan, I think, and, like, like, I would tan, like, on cruises or something, um, but no, I don't really I wear a lot of sunscreen, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Vosh is the epicenter of a lot of bad opinions, but no, but it's not only that he's an epicenter of a lot of bad opinions. Like a lot of people can have a lot of bad opinions. Vosh is the epicenter of just a lot of bullshit. And I'm just like not interested at all. Has my car climbed Mount Washington? Yes, it has. Of course, it has. And the drive down Mount Washington is actually much worse than the drive up. The drive up is beautiful. It is beautiful. If you've never been to Mount Washington in New Hampshire, it is a unbelievably spectacular view. And the thing is like when you pay the fee to drive up Mount Washington, you get a bumper sticker that says this car has been up like has climbed Mount Washington. So it's like a rite of passage, I guess. But like coming down the mountain, holy shit. That was the most nerve-wracking drive of my life. I should have made Victor do it, but yes, it has. My car has been to the top of Mount Washington. It has. It has, it has. In fact, Victor and I got married, in Littleton, New Hampshire with a view of Mount Washington. We weren't on Mount Washington, but we had a view of it. Let's see, I'm going back through some of my old Instagram photos right now to see if I have any other fun stories to tell you guys. Oh man. I miss some of my old friends, man. I'll tell you what. I miss some of my old friends from the before times, but they're all crazy now. They're all crazy. Man. Oh, got another super chat. Thank you, AM. You're present. A religion lets you process info. A cult has to limit and destroy info. If you can't survive the wrong book, music, science, or company, claim those terms now before the cult of Stucky fans do. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, we should be able to read things that don't align with our ideology. We should be able to watch movies that don't align with our ideology. Like I have read extremely like I used to read okay, this is gonna get me put on some sort of watch list. I was fascinated by hate literature growing up. Like, well, not growing up, like when I was like 16, 17, 18, like and getting into college, I was fascinated with hate literature. Like just like what hate groups were saying. Now, I didn't agree with what they were saying, but I would definitely read their stuff and be like, these people are fucking nuts. Um, like I've read books like The Turner Diaries. I think everyone should read those books so you can find out exactly how the minds of these people work. I've read Mein Kampf. I've read it. I have it in my basement. That's not to say I agree with it, but I do think that it's important to consider books outside of your worldview and perspectives. And I just happen to be attracted to I mean, this is probably why I ended up working on the anti-white article with the Queen from England, because it's just like I am actually legitimately fascinated by people who are in that ideology, but it also makes me just feel really bad after a while, so I can only do so much of it. Emily Atwood, happy birthday. Have you visited the Grand Canyon? Yes, I have. I did visit the Grand Canyon. Actually, I might be right around my Instagram where I visited the Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon is I visited a couple times. Victor and I took a helicopter to the Grand Canyon when we went to Vegas to have our vows renewed, which I found to be extraordinarily lackluster. It was so disappointing. I was so upset at how like just how anticlimactic it was. But my first trip to the Grand Canyon was on a trip I took out to Sedona, and that was much better. I was in a different part of it. I should be right around it in my Instagram. Hang on, I'll show you guys my pictures from. Oh, here it is right here. I already actually showed you guys. Here it is right here. Right around my Cambo stuff. So. No, that's. Oh, no, that's not it. That's Sedona. Sorry. This is the Grand Canyon. Yeah, Grand Canyon. There it is. It's beautiful. If you've never been to the Grand Canyon, holy crap. My God, is it stunning. This is me sitting on a ledge with my hiking shoes. Like, just unbelievable. Unbelievable. If you don't see God in that, I just don't know. I don't know what to say. Don't know what to say. I'd recommend that to everyone. All right, let me see. Guys, I'm going to do this for maybe about 10 more minutes. So if you have any burning questions, now is the time to ask. Let me just look on some of my other channels, Odyssey, Rockfin, Rumble. Got some stuff on Gitter going. We're just basically hanging out today. I'm doing a little Ask Me Anything. We're going to be doing the big stream later, which is Nothing Remotely Controversial. If you've never seen Nothing Remotely Controversial, today's going to be a great day to watch. Nothing Remotely Controversial is a show that Joshua and I do on Tuesday nights at 9:30. We talk about the news and what's going on in the world, and then Joshua, who is a psychic, tries to predict what's going on. Joshua is freakishly accurate. He gets a lot of stuff right. Joshua predicted January 6th the day before it. He predicted it on January 5th. Joshua has a pretty decent record with getting sports things correct, though not 100%, but he does a pretty good job. He predicts cryptocurrency stuff pretty accurately, which is weird. But he's really he gets a lot of stuff right. He predicted that Tom Brady was going to retire before Tom Brady did retire. So that's coming up at 9:30 tonight, and we are doing a special Karlyn's Day of Narcissism edition, where Joshua will be going over my solar return, so we can learn what is going to happen to me coming up this year. Let's see. This is not a $500 super chat. You can't trick me, mommy. What's one of my favorite things that I've ever knitted? Oh, definitely. I'm actually knitting another version of this right now. Ah! It's a Starflake shawl. It's one of my favorites. I'm knitting right now. I'm knitting a version with this one. But that's one of my favorite things. Hang on. I love. Hang on. I'll actually make myself bigger. Why am I showing this in a small thing? What I love about this one, this is probably one of my favorite fades that I've ever knitted. Lots of good stuff there. Let me see. Oh, fuck. I gotta find a way to store my knitting better because I'm starting to ruin my knitting on these hooks. I'll show you this one. Last one. Last one. I just gotta get it right side up. I just love this because of the braids. This has Latvian braids. And this is fuzzy yarn. The yarn that's between it is fuzzy. And then it goes through some other stuff too. Boop, 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 boop. I actually love this right here. I love this. It's so watercolor and pretty. I said $500 super chat, not $25 super chat. No skirting the rules. No, it was not because he was showing Tim up as the alpha male. That's not what it was. I will confirm that that is not the reason he got fired. If you want to ask another question, Gray Talon, I'll take it because I'm not answering your question and you gave me $25. But that was not the reason he got fired. Okay, I'll give you a hint about why he got fired. There was a triangle. There was a triangle on that show at the time. And I knew this, by the way, before Adam ever told me. I knew what happened before he ever told me. There was a triangle. One person left and one person did not. Draw your own fucking conclusions. Mommy, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Do you regret anything from the post-Trump article times? Yes. I regret I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. Because I don't broadly speaking, I don't have a whole lot of regrets about that time, broadly speaking. But I wish that I hadn't bought into the right's bullshit so much. What do I mean by that? In 2020 when I was red pilling and kind of waking up to the fact that the left had lied to me, I hated the left so much that I think I went right to the right and was like, they must be right about everything because they're right about some things and they are right about some things. But I was like, they are the antithesis of the left, so I have to go over to the right. Well, after January 6th, and especially after Joe Biden got inaugurated, the right completely changed. At least my experience with the right changed. And so I wish that I hadn't been so quick to run to a new tribe. I think that was a mistake. And I think that I regret holding back many of my opinions because you got to understand, like during that time, it was so confusing because I didn't really know what was true and wasn't true. And I was really questioning everything. And so at some point, I think I convinced myself that a lot of the opinions that I had had growing up my whole life about politics and different societal views, I was really questioning everything. And I was like, is the right about everything? And I wish I hadn't done that because, you know, being there are some things that I think the right is correct about. There are still things though that I think the right is not correct about. And like I really questioned my views regarding abortion. I really questioned my views regarding like education. And I think that education is valuable. I just don't like the way colleges are indoctrinating people. Whereas I think a lot of people on the right just inherently dismiss it. They inherently dismiss people who have worked extremely hard to learn about different subjects and to become very good at those subjects as all being indoctrinated and useless. And I don't think that that's correct. I also do not think that a staunch pro life position is correct. I'm sorry. Like I think there are reasons that abortion would be the right choice for some people in some circumstance. And I think that I was so quick to want to hate the left that that I think I accepted way too much from the right. And I think I gave them as a collective. I'm not talking about individuals, I'm talking as a collective. I think I gave them way too much of a benefit of the doubt that I shouldn't have given them. Because it turns out they're exactly like the left. I do not view the right and left as fundamentally different at this point. I think they're the same. I think that they just have different issues that they're zealots about. And so I think my biggest lesson probably post Trump article is like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. If you've developed your perspectives over, and again, like I really like, I think I was put into a position of just like questioning everything. And I didn't give myself credit for how much I had actually thought through some of the positions that I had, because I was really in my head going, is everything that I've thought my whole life wrong? So I think being too quick to run to the other tribe and try to ingratiate myself to the other tribe was a mistake. And I do regret it. And I quite frankly regret some, though certainly not all, of the conservative media that I interacted with, of like the conservative personalities that I interacted with. I regret a lot of it. I regret doing the PragerU video. This might be controversial to say, and you know, the piece that I don't regret about that video is that I know that my story was inspiring to a lot of people, and I know that I gave hope to a lot of people to believe that their friends and family could wake up. And so I don't regret sharing my story, and I certainly don't regret the hope that I was able to give to people. I absolutely regret doing the PragerU video, and I absolutely regret allowing myself to be, quite frankly, I think that I was used by conservative media. I think I was used. I feel very used. And I think I was used and I was held up as one of their examples of like, "Oh, we won one." And at the time, I was okay with it because I wanted to do everything I could to get people to leave the left so that we didn't end up in the situation we're in now with Joe Biden in the presidency and 8.5% inflation or whatever it is. At the time, I didn't regret it, but looking back, I'm like, I sacrificed a lot, and I did a stream about this maybe like I did a stream about this on Oscar night, just like some random mustings of this. This is no dig or shade at conservatives as individuals. I feel that I was very used by the right, and then as soon as I wasn't needed anymore, I was treated horribly. Really, really, really horribly. And it has really made me not want to have anything to do with most influencers. I don't wanna have anything to do with most conservative media. Again, not all. I think that some conservative media is fine. I think that some conservative media is fine. Um, but most of them I just want nothing to do with. And by the way, that's not to say that I'm gonna run right back to being a Democrat either, because you guys know I'm a libertarian. I'm a member of the New Hampshire Libertarian Party. I think I saw a super chat. Hang on. AD says, now you know how I came to the Libertarian Party. Yeah. I mean, I came to the Libertarian Party when I realized just how fucked up the GOP was internally, and that the GOP will never change. They will never change. Like I don't know how much more blunt I can be with you guys. Like I've seen how the sausage is made. They will never change. It will never change. It will never happen. It is, and again, I'm an organizational psychologist. I know how to evaluate systems. They will never change because the collective of the GOP does not want to change. They don't want a big tent. They don't even want to win elections. All they do is play these gotcha games in the media. And, for me, I'm much more about doing things and actually solving problems and accomplishing things. And I don't think that's where most of the right is right now. So I'll sit in the Libertarian Party where I think I align more philosophically anyway. And I don't mind losing. I don't mind losing if I feel good about where I am. And again, there are like I've made great friends on the right. Like I look at like guys like Eric Matheny. Eric Matheny is one of the best people in the world. He really is. He has a show called Bob and Eric Save America. He has he has always been there on this journey for me. I have nothing but respect for that guy. I've even made some good friends with like Matt Couch and Pastor Brian Gibson and his wife Jessie, who are just great people. And there are conservatives that I do like, but I don't know. I don't have any use for a lot of them, and that's just how I feel about it. Um, let's see. All right, guys, I'm gonna be wrapping this up soon. So if you have a nice burning question for me, now is gonna be the time. Now is gonna be the time to ask any more burning questions that you might have. This is fun though. I don't know that that's exactly what Shu thought would happen. I think that Shu thought that I would change my position. Now, I've never changed my positions on things. Well, Shu was also mistaken in that she thought I had changed my positions. I've never changed my positions. I've thought through some things a little bit more, but again, like I said earlier, like I think I underestimated how much thought I had actually put into my positions. I love the libertarians, man. It's a shit show. There's so much drama, but I love it. I truly do. I feel so at home with the libertarians. I feel like it's the place I was supposed to be. And I feel like they're my people. I understand them. I feel comfortable around them. I like the culture of it. Libertarians have a very distinct culture. All the different groups have distinct cultures. And I agree with them, mostly philosophically. And now we're going to change the Libertarian Party, and that's going to be pretty great. Let me see. Emily says, I'd rather lose but feel good about my vote. That's kind of exactly where I'm at. That's kind of exactly where I'm at. Caleb says, limited government or efficient government. Ah, I don't think there is such a thing as efficient government if it's not an incredibly limited government. So I don't think that you're actually presenting two different options. I think you're presenting the same option. But I don't know, I'm veering more towards anarchism, like, every single day. I'm not fully anarchist yet, um, but veering more towards it all the time. Ego Brain, I thought I banned you. I'm just saying. Pretty sure I banned you. But you're being nice right now. I'm not gonna ban you right now because 'cause you're being nice, but I'm pretty sure you were being a tool the other day and I banned you. AD says, "I love your debate on CRT where you really let the guys Aaron and Sam have it." Yeah. That was fun. Gothics and Christian, I don't think were as happy with me. And the debate moderator, I was so disappointed in the debate moderator, Michael, because I like, well, it's because he's like an actual college debater. Listen, man, I always told people I don't debate. I don't really care about debating. I don't think it changes any minds. I think it's just people arguing. Um, I'm really surprised that you guys aren't even asking any saucy questions. I was hoping for some saucy questions. Can we get some good saucy controversial questions before I wrap this up? Alex, I'm looking at you, man. I want some saucy, controversial questions. These are also tame. I think I had you guys can do better. You can do better. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. If you could resurrect any person to join the Unwoke art, what do you mean by resurrect, Sam? What do you mean by resurrect? Like bring someone back, like someone that we used to know, like someone that actually used to be part of our group, or like bring someone back from the dead? I need clarification. Historical person. If I could resurrect any historical person to be part of the Unwoke army, who would it be? Hmm. I mean, George Washington was pretty based. That'd be kind of fun. George Washington was scrappy. I think that might be a good choice. Let me think about that one. Let me think about that and I'll come back to it. Okay. Now we're finally getting some saucy questions. Excellent. Do you think Joe Biden still has sex with his wife? No. No. Of course not. No. And by the way, I think maybe Kamala Harris and her husband have only had sex like once or twice in the entirety of their marriage. I don't think Kamala Harris and her husband have sex at all. And I think if they have had sex, I think if they have, it's been like not good and over very quickly. And then they like go sleep in separate bedrooms. Kamala Harris and her husband have no chemistry at all in any way. What does your husband do with that copious ass? I can't answer that. I'll get demonetized. I can't answer that. My God, that's Brent. What happened between me and Adam? I kind of answered this earlier, Jaya. But basically Adam threw me under the bus in one of the most epic ways I've been thrown under the bus by any content creator, which is he allowed his audience to attack me for 3 hours. And on something that I was completely 100% correct about. And it was the anti-white stuff. And this was before the Queen from England and I had written the article about it. And it was when I watched back what happened to me on that show, I felt like I was, I mean, it like, it was fucked up. It was really fucked up what he did to me. And, so Adam might tell you that he made the decision to part ways. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. You could not have paid me $1 billion to go back on that show after what he did to me. You couldn't have paid me. And after I saw it, I was like, I was devastated. I was truly and legitimately devastated by what he did to me. So he can fuck right off. It's like Adam has totally fucking sold out. Totally sold out. I guess everyone has a price. Do I wear boxers or briefs, or do I like boxers or briefs? I don't like men in briefs. I think men in briefs look ridiculous. Sorry. I guess boxer briefs, if anything. Have you ever at least considered an open marriage? Yeah. Of course. Yeah, I mean, I think for me though, like I'm really kind of boring about this stuff. Like as much as I don't mind talking about sex and I don't think open marriages are bad. I don't. I think if you have rules in place, I think if you have rules in place, it can work. I've seen it work. I know people in open marriages. I know people in polyamorous relationships. Like, I mean, I've seen it work on so many occasions. And the thing of it is like just most people don't. Most people don't know when they're interacting with a couple in an open marriage. But I think there are more open marriages than people think. And I actually like I've said a million times, like I don't really care if Victor is really so enticed to go sleep with another woman and it's just sex, I don't actually really care. I don't actually really care. The thing is that Victor's kind of lazy about this stuff, and so I'm not actually worried about that. And I'm incredibly lazy about this stuff, and so I'm like, it's just not even an issue really. But like, I wouldn't really care as long as there were rules and there were parameters, and as long as he comes home at the end of the day and we get on with it. You know, that's all that matters to me. I didn't marry my husband just for sex. And sex is not the focal point of our marriage. Let's see. That's going to get clipped and put on the internet. Of course. Who turns your software into hardware? I feel like 80 is being saucy, but I don't get it. I don't get it. The worst word you can think of to describe Carrie. Sad. That's not really that bad of a word, right? That's not really that bad of a word, but it honestly is like, if I call something sad or like disappointing, to me that's like one of the worst things. Is it just like she's just a very sad person to me. I think it's very sad that she has to run around and attack people on the internet that she doesn't like instead of just like focusing on what she's good at, which is explaining the SJW ideology to people. I think it's very sad. And for me that says a lot. 80, I don't even think they do that. I don't think they sleep together. I really don't. I do not think Kamala Harris and her husband have sex. I see no reason, I see no evidence to believe that Kamala Harris and her husband have sex. Let me see. Do I have any paranormal experiences? Yes. Yes. So I used to be engaged. This is a long time ago. This is a long fucking time ago. This was like right after college. I was engaged to a guy named Sean. And oh my god, let me hang on. I'm gonna stalk him on Facebook real quick. See if he's still on there. Thank God. This actually does relate to the question, but like, thank God that engagement fell through because oh my god. Dude, like for anyone younger who might be watching, don't get married until you're in your 30s. Like, trust me, just trust me. Don't do it. It's a bad fucking idea. Don't get married until you're in your 30s. You need to learn life lessons. See if I can find him real quick. He would hate the reason I say thank God is because no, I don't see him. He would hate me now. He is like uber, 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 uber progressive now. I like stalked him on Facebook or Instagram not too long ago. Anyway, I bring this up because he always told me when we were together, he always told me that he was like haunted, like he had like demons following him. And I never believed him until we were walking around in the woods near where he lived one day, and it was just like and it was in Massachusetts, like these it was like these creepy woods in Massachusetts. And I just had like a weird feeling come over me, and I couldn't explain it other than it was a really weird spooky feeling. And I swear something pushed me. Something pushed me. I tripped over nothing. And it was like when I tripped over nothing, it was like I got this jolt of I will never forget this. I got this jolt of energy like at my back. It felt like I was being pushed. And then later that night, we were sleeping. We were laying it well, he was asleep and I was trying to sleep. And I think I woke up and I looked at the end of his bed and I was absolutely 100% awake and as clear as day. I saw a skeletal like figure sitting on the end of his bed, and it was a man, but it was like he looked demonic. It was like his whole like everything was like sunken into his face. I had red eyes, and I got this just fear washed over me when I saw like fear and just like really low energy. And he turned and he pointed at Sean, and it was almost like I understood that this was the thing that Sean was talking about. And I was so scared, and I was like I was, like, scared to the point where I was, like, petrified and not moving, and what I ended up doing was I just rolled over and, like, put my arm over Sean, like, trying to protect him, I think, and I just, like, tried to go back to sleep, but I was terrified, and, that was one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me. I don't know whatever happened with that, but the reason I say this and the reason I kinda wanted to I wonder if I can even find him on Instagram. Wouldn't that be funny? The reason I'm stalking him online right now is, he got creepy. He got really fucking creepy. Oh, I found his Instagram. Holy shit, does he have any pictures of himself? You guys wanna see my ex? Do you guys wanna see a picture of my ex? He looks creepy now. His Instagram's public, so I'm not and this is a picture from a couple years ago, I think. Yeah. This is a picture from, like, 3 years ago. All right, I will only show you guys if I see you saying you want to see it. If not, then we can move on. Okay. Let me show you. I'm gonna well, it's public. Fuck it. It's public. He can survive. Listen, man, he was a dick to me when we broke up, so he can go fuck himself. That's my ex on his public Instagram several years ago. I told you he looked creepy now. He didn't always look this creepy. I don't know what happened. But that's my ex. From a long time ago. A long, long time ago. We are very different people now. I'm gonna see if there's any other good pictures. Oh my god, Sean. What the fuck did you do to yourself, man? Oh god. He started dating this death metal woman after me. This is him and the woman. I think they got married at some point. I think they're divorced now. But like they were like in a death metal band. Crazy. Oh, it's so creepy. Oh, I can't look at his Instagram anymore. I can't look at this anymore. Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. No, it's not drugs. He doesn't do, I think he got like, well, he used to do drugs, but like that was even before like we met. George Andre Velasco Nunez. Oh, George's got something. What's the most unusual thing you've ever done in the bedroom or outside of it? Oh, it's the most unusual thing I've ever done in the bedroom. I don't know if I want to say, oh God, I said I would answer any question and you said it as super chat. I don't know if I want to say on the internet. Let's just say that that I have been with men who requested that I do something that is similar to what Jack Murphy was photographed doing to them. And I have. And they enjoyed it. This was a long time ago. I used to be much more adventurous in this department than I am now. But yeah, that's probably the most unusual thing. And I don't enjoy that at all, but it was like I was asked to, and you know. You do crazy things sometimes for the ones that you love or the ones that you just enjoy sleeping. In this case, it was legitimately with someone I just enjoy sleeping with, who ironically, this guy, he and I went to college together. He was so fucking good in bed. Oh my God. Oh. We still keep in touch. And he does stuff on YouTube. How crazy is that? It is a small world, man. It is a small world. All right, let me see. Oh, graphically Alex, spreading rumors about me again. Karlyn is a fed in an open marriage. That's what I will always believe. Fake news, fake news. I'm definitely not a fed. Definitely not a fed. Who is a bigger power bottom, Jack Murphy or Pete Buttigieg? Do we really think Pete Buttigieg is a bottom? Pete Buttigieg is a Capricorn. I don't know that Pete Buttigieg would allow himself to be a bottom. I don't think he'd allow it. Let me see. No, Victor said he was in love with my copious ass. My copious ass. We have to get the wording correctly. And where that comes from is Mike Harlow insulted me on Twitter on Twitter one day, and he said she has a copious ass. Her and her copious ass. I'm sorry. Some women get surgery to have an ass like I have. Jeez. Do I think Adam would ever go gay for pay? Yes. Yes, I do. Should we pull cards on it? Should we pull cards? I have my tarot cards right here. Should we pull cards on would Adam Krigler ever go gay for pay? We're going to do it right now. I'm going to do it right now. Would Adam Krigler ever go gay for pay? Would Adam Krigler ever go gay for pay? Would Adam Krigler ever go gay for pay? First card. First card. Yes. That was the first card. I haven't even turned over the other ones yet. First card. Yes. Adam Krigler would absolutely go gay for pay. Yes. Yes. He would at least consider it. He would at least consider it. Yes. So you bet you guys are ready. You're happy you're stuck around now, aren't you? Oh god, this is what birthdays are like. We hang out. Let me see. I'm just scrolling through the chat. Well, I was engaged to someone else. This was like 10 years before I met Victor. I was engaged to someone else. Are you ever going to make your t-shirt designs available on hoodies? I'm actually working on new t-shirt designs right now, and I promise you I will make them available on hoodies because I have not re-upped my merch store in like probably a year. So kind of like on the back burner. I've got a whole bunch of t-shirts I want to launch. I want to launch one that says "Don't thread on me" and has knitting instead of the snake, and I want to launch one that says segregation is so anti-racist. I have some t-shirt ideas. So yes, I will make sure that they are available on hoodies. Do I think SJW ideology is more like demon possession or a mind virus? I think it's both. I think those are two of the same. I think those are the same thing. I think it's both. Alex, Alex is like, don't ever believe anything that Alex says. I once heard a rumor that Sam channeled the text from White Fragility. How many woke are maybe influenced by negative entities? I think a lot of them are, and I think a lot of them are because they don't have spirituality in their life. And I didn't say religion. I do not believe that religion is the answer to the woke. Because I think a lot of religious people are just as devoid of an actual connection to God as a lot of non-religious people are. Carrie Smith, for example. By the way, I totally tagged Carrie Smith. You know how we've talked about how I wonder how Carrie Smith's church would react if they knew she was lying on the internet. So I just for fun, I'll show you guys. I tagged Carrie Smith's preacher in a Twitter thread today. There it is. And I said, "Hi, Bradley. Me again. I tagged him yesterday too because Carrie Smith was retweeting gossip and lies that the Queen from England was spreading about me. And so I tagged her preacher yesterday, and then I tagged him again today, and I said, "Hi, Bradley, me again, a person that Carrie Smith is obsessed with. I've documented her obsession here in the Twitter account at Carrie is Obsessed. The newest stuff isn't even on there, but trust me, her obsession is still going. Would you mind intervening before she has another defamation case against her?" And then I continued, "The thing is, Bradley, that I just don't think Carrie is being a good representation of Christian values right now. I know, she's a new Christian. She needs some time to learn. But she's also got a lot of followers, and I think her behaviors reflect on your church." And then I concluded, "It really seems as though she could use someone to help work through this obsession, Bradley. She seems to be reveling in it. I understand you will turn people away who revel in sin. Bearing false witness and gossip are sins, right? You may be the only person that can help her. Let this be a lesson to everyone to never, ever, 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 ever fuck with me on the internet. Because I might come at you when you do it, I might not. But what I absolutely will do if you fuck with me on the internet is I will wait. And I will have revenge and retribution at some point. And it might not be when you think it is. And if I'm waiting, you're really not going to like what I'm going to do to you. You're really not going to like it. So I want to see if Carrie gets kicked out of her church for reveling in sin, because on Twitter about a month ago, or maybe a couple months ago, she was reveling in people getting kicked out of her church. Now, what I really hope is that her pastor takes her aside and counsels her to cut the bullshit on the internet. That's what I actually hope happens. And then perhaps Carrie can focus on what Carrie is actually good at, which is talking about the SJW ideology and actually waking people up. Anywho, let me scroll through the chat, make sure I didn't miss anything that I want to answer. So AM says, as a spiritual person and psychologist, any tips for making uncharacteristic moves in your life? Imagine, try to think about how you would feel if you achieved what you wanted to achieve. Think about the emotions you have at the outcome you want. Always think about the outcome. Don't think about the process of getting to the outcome. Think about the outcome itself. How are you going to feel when you achieve that outcome? What is that outcome worth to you? Why are you pursuing that outcome? And have that be what's in your head, because that's going to get you through the uncomfortable stages of moving into something new in your life. If you focus on the outcome and where you're going and how you'll feel when you get there, and imagine it's already happened. Imagine it's a no-brainer. It's like, of course this is going to happen. Of course I'm going to be successful. I already am successful at it. You can even fantasize or meditate on like, I've already been successful at doing this thing I'm doing. What does that feel like? How do I act? What do I say? How do I behave in my life? What behaviors drove me to that success? Start from the end and then work your way back. Let's see. What's the most interesting item I own? Hmm. I mean, I love my art. I love my art. I genuinely love my art. And the most interesting one I own, I mean, my locals have seen this like 8,000 times, I think. I'll find it on my Instagram. Um, oh, which reminds me, I gotta call FedEx because they have another piece of art to deliver. Ba-da-ba. That's not it. Here. Okay, I'll show you the most interesting piece that I own, that I like the most. Is so this is not the so the small one is a print. It looks like the original, but it's not. This is an original painting, and it's huge and it's beautiful and I love it. And then this is a print, but it's actually a really, like, if you're looking at the picture, you can't tell the difference between the original and the print, which I just think is really cool. They've gotten to a point with prints where they're so fucking good, but then they're much more affordable than the originals. But I love this painting. I love this painting. The astronaut one, I love it so, so, so much. Actually, I was just emailing with the artist earlier today. Let me know. Actually, let me show you guys something. Let me do a poll. Let me do a poll. I was emailing with this artist company earlier today because they have a limited edition watch that has become available, and I don't know if I want to buy it. So there's the watch. It's got the astronaut. There only been like 6 of these that are made. There's only 6 and only one of them is available. They're only selling one. Fuck. Where are my I can't find my my screens where I'm streaming. Oh, I think they are here. Okay. Let me put a poll in the chat. Should I buy this watch? You guys can let me know if you I don't know if that's coming through well. Yes, no. Oh, there it's better. Okay, now it looks better. Okay. So this watch has become available, and there's only one that will ever be made available, and they want $750 for it. And I like it, and I like the limited editionness of it. The problem is I don't really wear watches. Victor and I were actually just having this argument today. If Victor hears me on this stream talking about buying a watch, because Victor was trying to get me to buy a watch like literally earlier today, and I was like, no, Victor, I don't wear anything on my wrist. I don't like wearing things on my wrist, but I like this. You guys answer the poll. Should I buy this watch? Let me see. I wonder if anyone has ever had sex on the Appalachian Trail. I would imagine so. I would imagine they have. No, Adam Krigler, not Adam from Stitch and Adam. I like Adam from Stitch and Adam. I like him a lot, actually. I think he's really cool. Let me see. I'm just scrolling through the chat as you guys answer this poll about whether or not I should buy the watch. If I know what is my IQ, yeah, you're about right. You're about right. Yeah, around there. Around there. How smart is Victor really? Very smart. But Victor and I are smart about different things. We're like Victor is very into like science and physics and like Victor would be the engineer. I would never be the engineer, not because I can't do math, but because I don't like it. All right, I think we're starting to descend into silliness now. We're about at the 2-hour mark. Do I watch and enjoy American Horror Story Coven? I did enjoy American Horror Story Coven. I think Hotel was actually my favorite American Horror Story. I haven't seen the newer ones. I kind of stopped watching after that like that season that was like at the camp. I didn't really watch that one. I didn't like it. And I think there's been a new American Horror Story since then that I haven't watched. But I liked Coven. But I think Hotel was actually my favorite. Actually, I liked this. Was the second season Coven? I liked the second season, but I liked the hotel one too. And there were parts of it that I liked in the season where like the world had ended and they were in the underground cavern. I liked the first part of that season, not the second part. Um. All right. Well, I think I have shit talked enough on this stream. I think I have gossiped enough. I think yeah, people seem to be 50-50 about the watch. It seems like people are saying no. I mean, listen, the reason I like the watch is because he's just started making these. Like he hasn't made a lot of these watches or like other products. He's just started. And I like that it's the astronaut. This painting of the astronaut snowboarding down the sea of color, like this is one of my favorite paintings that he has, and I like that. I like that the watch is black. I just don't know if I'm feeling it though. I like with me with art or things related to art, I'm very I'm instinctual about it. Like if I love it, I will absolutely buy it. But if I don't love it, I'm like, meh. Like why? I don't think that the price is bad on it in terms of like in relation to other things he sells. Like I don't think the price is bad. Um I don't know. You guys seem to be 50-50. 54% of people say no, I should not buy the watch. We'll have to see. I'm going to think it over tonight. I'm kind of thinking I'm leaning towards no though. I'm leaning towards no if I'm honest about it. I'll remove myself from the screen instead of the watch. There we go. All right guys. Well, I am going to wrap it up for today. Now remember, I will be back with Joshua at 9:30. Let me just get it up on the screen. Please make sure you mount that like button on the way out the door. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And please come back and join Joshua and I in 2.5 hours for a special Karlyn Narcissism Edition of Nothing Remotely Controversial, where Joshua and I will be going over my solar return chart, and we will be taking your questions as well, as we always do. If you would like to connect with me directly, please become a member of my locals community. You can join my locals at kb.locals.com/support. We have a community Zoom call at noon tomorrow. So if you join now, you're going to be able to join us for a private Zoom chat at noon Eastern time tomorrow, which will be really great. Our Zoom chats are the best part of locals, but there's other stuff too. We do book club, we do craft and bitch, we have our Unwoke Army Discord that is a special subset of my locals, but you can only get access to that right now by making sure you come to our community Zoom calls so I can get to know you and decide you're not crazy, because there will be no crazy in my Unwoke Army Discord. I will not allow it. I'm not bringing this Carrie Smith anti-woke nonsense bullshit into my Unwoke Army Discord. We're actually going to do work, and we're going to be productive. And so that's how that's going to work. But if you want to join, you can head over to kb.locals.com/support and join for $5 a month. You can join for $50 a year, which gives you 2 months for free. You can also make a one-time gift. This is probably the best birthday present that you could give me. And of course, please make sure you pre-order my book, Actively Unwoke, the ultimate guide for fighting back against woke insanity in your life. It is coming out about a month from today, a little less than a month. I'm really excited about it. I think you guys are going to love it. My Unwoke Army is already starting to implement the book. There will be autographed copies available soon. But you can get it for right now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Simon & Schuster, all sorts of other places. It comes in hardcover, audio, and Kindle version. And yeah, that's all I have for right now. I will see you guys in a couple hours at 9:30 with Joshua. Take care. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.